Good morning, everyone. My name is Naama. I am the co-founder of Trusty.io, machine learning platform. Today I have a special guest from Foch Hospital, Professor Antoine Roux. Welcome.
Hi.
So we're going to talk 6 slides. You will not sleep for sure. We'll talk about Trusty.io, the way we leverage data scientist community to create machine learning model, and how we impact organizations like Foch Hospital. And Professor Antoine is going to talk about how we applied our platform to do lung transplantation graft rejection detection, I would say. All right, so I think if you are here, you know that AI. If you are here, you know that AI it's everywhere. 95% of people gonna use AI by 2025. That's a fact. Okay. But organizations like hospital, they struggle today to implement AI model and use them for 2 reasons. Number 1 is the technical aspect. A hospital cannot afford to have internal data scientists to create machine learning model. Okay, so that's one of the difficulties. Number 2, it's confidentiality. When a professor wants to create a machine learning model, he needs to have data, and usually it's patient data. And can I share it really with a third-party company? So that's difficult. In the meantime, we have thousands, millions of people in the world, data scientists, that they are doing mainly open source from Hugging Face, from Kaggle, and they are willing to work with those organizations. But these 2 words, they don't talk well together. Healthcare organization, data scientists. This is why we created Trusty. Trusty.io is the bridge between the 2 words, organization, like healthcare organization, and the data scientist. We provide a SaaS platform that allows to any organization to create challenge. What is a challenge? It's a kind of competition. I have my data set, I have a problem, I put this inside the platform, and then that's it. In the meantime, we have thousands of data scientists across the world, from the US, from Japan, from Europe, France, Africa. They're gonna come and compete to create the best model ever. Okay? They're gonna compete for 2 months, for 3 months. Their solution is evaluated automatically by our platform, and there is a leaderboard. And at the end of the competition, we're going to take the best models, including source code and documentation, which we're going to give to the hospital that they're going to run. Why organizations need to do this? Cost. It costs 10 times less by doing a competition like this versus doing the model yourself. Education. When you are creating a competition, you are educating as well people, which they come mainly from the academic. They are practicing. You are contributing to the science, I would say, to the open source. Why academic or why researcher they need to participate? For every competition, there is a prize, $30K, $25K. So I win money when I participate to a challenge. I learn. Every competition, there is a leaderboard. If I'm today the first, tomorrow I am second, or maybe even the 10th. So I need to work again to be a part of the leaderboard. And then I can find a job as well. At the end of every competition, we put the best, I would say, solution in contact with the organization so they can continue to work. So we're really we are bringing this innovation by facilitating the work between those organization world and academic that they don't work together very well. So now you're going to see how this really works in a real case study with Antoine.
Hi, everyone. So I am the case study. So I'm working on a daily basis on a lung transplant program in Hôpital Foch. This is a larger program in France. Lung transplantation is the only treatment for end-stage respiratory disease for a very selected patient. We, during the last decade, we improved the graft outcome, but still the graft outcome is mainly driven by rejection episodes and the side effect of immunosuppressive drugs to avoid rejection. So the equation of lung transplantation is mainly that. So the histology, so what you see in pink here, is the cornerstone of rejection diagnosis. We take some little bites in the graft and we analyze it with a pathologist. But this graft histology faces many challenges. It's mainly 2. It's very time-consuming, and the interpretation is highly variable, which is not acceptable for patient. Next slide. Thank you. So that's why we set up the idea of this study, which is called Digilut, with data challenge as a result. So first, we selected 2,000 biopsy in our biobank. Then we digitalize all this biopsy. Then we ask a panel of pathologists, expert panel all over the world, to annotate some of the slides here, step 3. And then we provide this data set with images, partly annotated, to the data challenge, and worked with a trustee about the data challenge. Then after 2 months, we had the results. Then we have, in the top 3, we have 2 academics and 1 freelance from India. And it's very interesting for us because it opened the way for future collaboration with mainly the 2 academics at the moment. So obviously, at the end of the data challenge, the algorithm were not performant enough. So we have to continue the work with this participant. And at the end, of course, the goal is to improve the management and get back to the patient.
Thanks, Antoine. So this is, you will see how we work together, but just maybe don't think about it, but this is one of the most complex machine learning problem you can have. A biopsy, each of those biopsies 2 gigabytes, 1 picture. And you are asking people to build a model that detects coordinates of a lesion A. I think this is how we say in English, right? It's so complex. And in the same image, you have multiple ones. So this is one of the best challenges we have done ever at Trusty. And there was more than 256 participants across the world. Again, from around the world, including India, Japan, France, a lot, academic. So it's really a real success, and it helped Antoine at least to get the first idea about what type of model I can get. Now, how we work it together, so that you can imagine how a data challenge or a competition work. So 3 steps. Step number 1, for 4 months, we put a data scientist from our side with Foch hospital team to prepare the data set. Take the biopsy, take the CSV, refine the problem of the machine learning. You know, should we predict like only 1 value or a coordinate, thing like that. Then set up the environment, because people to treat 4 terabytes of data, they cannot do it with their MacBook. Even if you have a 3,000 MacBook, it cannot treat 4 terabytes. So we had to put in place what we call a Jupyter Hub, so a virtual environment that allow people to access to the data easily without being obligated to download it. Step number 2, it's easy. Once the challenge is set up, you have 8 weeks to 2 months where people just submit their model, evaluated again automatically by the platform, and there is a leaderboard where you can see your ranking. And this is really where we push the boundary. So you are the best data scientist in the world. You push a model today, you are number 1. If you come 1 week later, for sure you are not anymore number 1. You're going to be 10th or 30th. So you need again to come back and fine-tune your model to be best. And this is really the benefit of the data challenge. You are pushing people to the state of the art. After the 8 week, it's evaluation. So we take the first model and then we look if there is any fraud, if the documentation is clear, if the code source is clear, and things like that. And this is what we deliver to Antoine and his team. All of this results, it's public today at GitHub. So everything we do, 90% of it is open source, meaning anybody in this room can go to our GitHub, download the results, run it yourself. And I think you have the objective to make the data set as well open source, right? So that's one of the things that the hospital is working on. One of the things that we have added, it's Gen AI to this. What does it mean? We know that the model that has been created, they are so complex that I think 90% of you will not really take the time to go and look to it. But to make it easy for you, we trained a kind of chat GPT model on every solution. And you have the link here. And you can go and you say, okay, solution number 1, how they build their model. What is the performance? How I can run it in my own premise? And you will get answer very easily. So that's something just we bridge machine learning with Gen AI. Yeah, that's Rusty. We are on the booth 19. If you have a question or something, you can come up. And I think we have 30 seconds to take a question. Thank you.
3 quick questions. Why only academics? First one. Second one, most of the teams, how they, or most of the sessions, it will be as a team they participate. I mean, I participate in Kaggle, so it will be like a team. But when you say it's a data scientist we are looking for, how it will help the overall vision for that particular challenge? If not as a team, as a single person, how not it? Why not as a team participant there? So that's the second one. Third one, how is it different from Kaggle?
Good question.
Yeah.
The three they are good. Number one, let's answer number two. Yes, most of participants, they are a team, but we do have as well individual. The third person who won, he's from India. He participated alone. Okay. Why academic? We started by opening this to everybody, but we focused on academic because we identified this is really where there is the issue. I mean, finding freelancer, Kaggle already making it, but accessing to real top academic researcher, that's not something that really exists. And so we focused our efforts on hiring mainly on our community academic, professor, researcher. And the first two winners, they are really from academic. The third one, why Kaggle? First of all, the number one, data confidentiality. We are the only company in the world that allow to a hospital to put his data in our Jupyter Hub, in our environment. Data scientists can access to it to train the model, but they cannot download the data. That's the only platform in the world that can make this happen. So, can take one last question? Go ahead.
So you were saying that you made public. Is it the models or the data? What is the public think it will be available?
Okay. Maybe you want to talk about the data, Antoine?
Sure.
So it's the model, but also the data set that will be public soon. It has been a long discussion with Health Data Hub about what means open source for a data set and what we expect us as an academic as feedback from this open source. So the discussion is still ongoing, but there will be a data set open.
All right, thank you.